back to the Healthy Business Podcast. I'm Ty King with American Business Engine, and with me as always...
It's Jessica Tolliver with CAM Collaborative.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. We've got carpet on the table.
We do. Well, don't make fun of me. Number one,
I like it.
it was inexpensive, and I could make it fit perfectly. It's tile, so we can pull it up. If something happens, I can just replace a piece. It will be.
So if we spill coffee all over this, we can pull it out.
It's indoor, outdoor. Great. So if we do spill coffee, we don't necessarily have to pull it up. We might be able to wash it.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of grip, so things aren't going to go sliding off. It's not rough, and it doesn't dangle.
I like that.
You're just like, I think it's cool. I'm like, there's a list of reasons why.
Yeah, I know for sure. I like it. I mean, when we had the computer underneath on the other side, like it was always having to raise up the curtain and pull it back.
No, we moved the computer, but the more I got to think about it, it just didn't look good with the.
No. I'm having another idea for this. Is like down the road, maybe if we get more space. I don't know if we can move the camera back further or something. But now we have this big empty space on the other side where we could have a TV screen or something that has the logo of whoever is recording.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So do you want to do like a separate green screen down there, or an actual TV screen that we pump it into? I wasn't sure about the glare.
Yeah, we could do either way. I was thinking just screen, but yeah.
Green screen would be easier and cheaper, as far as the technical side goes, because it's just a quick and easy thing, and then you can add it on at the end,
right?
In post. But I don't know. I worry that the TV would be glaring.
Yeah.
Or make glare in the recording.
The studio that I want to build,
it's probably bigger than this room.
Much bigger than this room. I know. But like eventually,
don't knock it.
This
is your roots, dude.
And there's one particular channel I follow, and they just built. They started off in a spare bedroom of a house. And it was just them sitting around an extra, little coffee table that they had. But they built it up over the years to where now they have, a lot of money through Patreon, which we would love to have yours. Patreon and, subscribing on YouTube. And then,
or, we also you can send a check.
Yeah, wherever you want to send money.
I'll take it.
We accept money in all forms. But they have a video wall behind them. And so, they can interchange out graphics, whatever show is on. They'll come out and switch out the videos. And there's the front of the desk is also a video wall.
Yeah, I think this is $12.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. No, I get it. There's definitely cost. Yeah.
No, I hear you. And yes, wouldn't it be great if we just had a bunch of money to play with?
I would like much money to play with. That'd be fun. Anyway, how's your week been?
Oh, blur. I just know, I just had this epiphany, oh my God, it's Friday. Yeah, you're recording a podcast.
Yeah.
It's just been a blur.
Yep. I understand. And nobody knows how to drive whenever it's raining outside. So
no.
I'm driving here from Conway, the I-40 is just backed up.
Well, I'm actually from a northern state. So I'm from Kentucky, where we actually get weather and we know what to do with it. So coming down here, literally a cloud in the sky comes, one drop falls down, and then 3 people drive into the ditch. Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't even require a reason sometimes, it feels like. And I know that's an exaggeration, but it just feels like that. You're right. Arkansans don't know what to do with weather.
Yeah, for sure. It always slows me down, and I don't understand why. And I'm always having to, thank God for Google Maps, because it'll tell me, hey, there's something's wrong with the road. And it's like, no, it's not the road. And they'd be like, you may want to take here, go this detour. And I'm like, thanks Google. You're there for me. Yeah. So my week's been crazy, of course. Always doing stuff, and then we're working on a lot of stuff here. Oh, well, I just noticed that you put some sound dampening panels in the back of the computer desk too.
Yes, it makes it look nicer, and it's more soundstagey.
Yeah, very cool. But yeah, brisk pace, breakneck, doing all the things all at once. Anyways, so last night I was out pretty late because I was having a meet and greet type of thing. It was like all the chair people from the thing with American Cancer Society that I was talking about. So, the event that we have coming up, we were meeting with some of the honorees and going over, here's the stuff, that we're doing, and here's the video that I created and all that. So, anyways, it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah. And it was a part of Little Rock that I don't normally go to. And so, happened to be near a Trader Joe's, right? Mm-hmm. So,
well, there's only one, so now I know where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Now you know exactly what it is. So I went to go work out at 10 Fitness and completely forgot that I didn't bring shorts, apparently. I thought that I threw them in my bag, and so I was like, oh, well, I'll just work out in my pants. And so I was like, I'll just do a little weightlifting and not sweat too much. take a shower. And then I had a lot of extra time because I counted on going in there and working out for a while, and then getting out and then going to the thing. But anyways, and I was like, where am I going to waste time? And I was like, oh, Trader Joe's. I've never been to Trader Joe's in my life before. Okay. So I went in there and I was like, I'm just going to see what it's like. Have you ever been in?
Yeah,
Sure
I
you
was
have.
actually, Trader Joe's started out in California, and I was there when that happened.
Okay.
'Cause I'm
Have you been to
old.
the one here?
No.
Okay.
Every time I think about it, I think about the people that talk about the crowds and all the things. I'm like, you know what? I'll just
There
wait.
were a lot of people, and it's very small inside. Like,
Well,
a lot
they
smaller
took
than
over
I
that
thought.
huge space, but they only used a portion of it. Did they finally put
See?
walls off it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, you go in there, and it feels like a small grocery store.
It's supposed to. It didn't when they first opened. They first opened, they said it, but I didn't go. People said those people.
It wasn't like a Whole Foods or anything like that.
It's not supposed, and that's not their field. The look and feel is more of a general store, and that's where their origins began. And so that they locally sourced things like a general store would do is the concept behind where it originated.
Don't most retail stores start off that way? You start somewhere. Walmart started off that way.
Well, yes, but they actually focus on sacks of grain as opposed to only the things that you would normally see at a grocery store. They go more for the organic. They go more for, like I said, the locally sourced, things like that.
I noticed that. So that was all new to me. I did not know that that's what they did. I thought it was like, I heard that it's one of those stores, like they put their own name on everything. They brand everything, right? So,
that's actually not the original. It's new. And then they started getting known for finding these great deals. So they expanded into it.
Okay.
But they don't only sell their own stuff.
Okay.
I know a lot about Trader Joe's haven't been there.
There was a lot of stuff that had their name stamped on it. I was like, okay, this is like Buc-ee's. When I went to Texas, you know what I mean? I was like, we got to go to Buc-ee's. And so you go in there and like everything from the Cheetos to, just everything is branded Buc-ee's.
I don't mind that.
And I was like, okay, I feel nauseous from seeing so many beavers. But yeah, it was kind of a strange experience. There was it's a very small space. A lot of people in there. A lot of people just not really paying attention to where they were spatially in time and space. They were like, if you're here, I need to be right about right here. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And so I'm just like, I'm looking at the chocolate covered, the dark chocolate covered peanuts and almonds and stuff like that. And there was this one lady who's like, she circled around me like twice and like kept bumping into me. I'm like, what? I'm still here. After the first time, I'm still here. And I was like,
and you're a big guy too. It's not like you're a little bitty thing.
Yeah. Maybe she just felt tough. I don't know. And so I walked around and I was like, okay, I'm going to go find some gum or something. Have you ever had gum from Trader Joe's?
Probably, but it's been 20 years.
So I got some yesterday. I'm bringing it on here just to show you this. And so I kind of like the packaging. It's kind of a weird.
See, it's kind of old Western-y type.
It is.
Like you would.
It is.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, so open it up and that's what it looks like.
Dog food.
Yeah, rabbit pellets. You've got farm animals, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Low iron rabbit pellets.
I don't know what that is.
May I have one?
You may.
And I'll have it
Either
later.
that one or you want one I didn't touch?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit over here for later.
Okay.
I don't want to indulge in that just yet, but I'm curious now.
The
so
cleaning ladies are gonna be cleaning like tissue. And then it comes with these little wrappers on the inside to where like you can, after you chew your gum, you can save your gum in these little wrappers. Or
I
I'm sure
love
it's thin
that.
enough to roll a cigarette. I don't know. So yeah, interesting. Anyway, very crazy store. I noticed there was a lot of wines and stuff that they had there. And
that's
so,
where they really started getting their foothold is the wines.
Yeah. So, anyways, it had me thinking about like expectations. Whenever you think about going into a new place to shop or do business with somebody, whatever you're buying for someone, like you have an expectation of like what that must be like.
Right.
In my head, I was like, okay, this is like a Whole Foods type of thing.
Okay.
But like mix of Whole Foods and Buc-ee's, and so I went in there and really weird, different feel. There's this old grocery store that my grandma used to take me to in Brownsboro, Texas. It was just off in the middle of nowhere, and it was called Wise, and so it was like just a privately owned store. And like I went there recently last year, whenever she passed away, and we were going retracing her steps through a lot of stuff that she used to do for us. Anyways, it was like the authentic version of what I walked into yesterday. You know, like the wooden floorboard, everything is wood. You know what I mean? But also at the old grocery store,
I'm glad I waited too, because when they first opened, they legit kind of moved in and looked like a grocery store. Everyone complained about that.
Oh, really?
So apparently it was a supply chain issue, and now they're getting it back to where it's supposed to be.
I guess, yeah. It looked like you walked into a log cabin or something. And so,
yeah.
But yeah, expectations, you know, versus like what you get in your experience, and it's like, does it hurt? Does it hinder? I mean, your
I think too,
experience?
you go both directions. There is the expectation that is better in that this is so much more. Like a lot of my clients come in for a certain thing, and then through talking with them, I figure out that's not what they really need. Talk them into what they really need, and their expectations are exceeded. But then there's also, you go in and you're expecting a certain thing, and there's no attempt to live up to that expectation. Yeah. I've never been there, but there's a bar, I think, / restaurant or something downtown. It's called the Library, and there's no books. And they don't do certain things that you would expect from a library. I forget some of the things that we were talking about, but it was one of those things that everyone who said that they went in with a certain expectation, they get there and nothing.
Yes. Yeah, and they don't know my expectations before I get in there. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know what everybody expects before they walk in.
But that's part of marketing.
That is part. Yeah. So they
should be cueing your expectations.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to pull up our video so that I can see if anybody's like throwing anything into that, but it looks like we're frozen. Oh, no, we're not.
Moving.
There you go. Now you got movement.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, we're just a little bit delayed. Okay, great. So
fun fact.
Yes.
Delays.
Yes.
Totally ADD on you right now. That started when in California, some dude drives up to an overpass. They're filming live, put it out to the world, and various things happen. It's been a long time. I'm not exactly sure all of the details, but at some point the car caught on fire. The dog was stuck inside, and he shot the dog. I think he shot himself too, all on live TV.
Jeez.
And it was very horrible. And everyone was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
So then they started doing the 7-second delay.
Oh, that's why?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That was the fun fact.
Wow.
So, very sad. And now there's a delay.
Wasn't very fun, but it was a fact, you know, grim facts for your Friday. So yeah, my expectation, I don't know if it was because I expected something else differently, but then I walked into, and then like the shopping experience was something completely than what I expected it to be. Although they did have like a lot of organic foods, like you said, and all that. And so, but I was like, you know, I'll probably never walk in here again. But I'm like, I'm good. I not because I just hated the experience. It's just because there was nothing in there that really drew me in. It was like, this is my thing.
Well, you're not the target audience.
I'm
either.
definitely not. No. And it's kind of like we were talking about, you know, like the Kettle Barons Ball and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Anything that's like old Western cowboy involved or whatever. You know what I mean?
Not your bag, man.
It's not my thing. It's just not the. You know what I mean? It never has been.
Well, that's good, because then you have your thing, and it's different than the cowboy
Which is
thing.
weird, because I was looking at the people that were shopping in there, and they're not necessarily who I would think of to be into that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, but they're not. They're into the idea of things being as pure as they were in a simpler time.
Yeah.
So you're going in and you're getting a sack of flour. Well, it's probably not much different than the flour that you get at Kroger. However, they've packaged it differently, or
they tell you it's organic because of marketing.
And you decide that makes you feel good about buying it, and that's all. When we can literally go outside and live on grass. I mean, we can. We're not going to do well, but we can. So, you know, all of these different foods and things that we decide that we need in our lives are because of wants, and they feel those pain points. So, it doesn't feel a pain point for you.
No, it doesn't at all. It was like, this is experience. I just want to go try, because it's been, you know, everybody talks and they talk it up. You know, and it's like, oh, Trader Joe's is coming to Arkansas. And I went there and I was like, no, I did that now. I don't have to do it again.
Yep.
Kind of like Buc-ee's. So yeah, Buc-ee's I will never go in
I've
there
never
again.
been. So
oh my God.
I've heard a little bit about it.
It's my nightmare. Because like, I don't guess as a marketing person and as just somebody who hates repetitiveness, like me seeing the same logo on every package everywhere you look, like that drives me insane.
I can see that.
There's no diversity whatsoever. It's just like you from the donuts, to the coffee, to just everything you think of, walking sticks. I mean,
That's funny.
Yeah, it's crazy, absolutely wild. So, and I guess
They pay a premium to package that way because a lot of the stuff is probably the brands you know and love.
Yeah.
However, they've rebranded it.
Oh, 100%. And I was looking at it, like my mom was, took me in there. She's like, "Oh, these are good," and I was like, "Yeah, they're the same ones that they sell in every store." I was like, "Look, it says distributed by, and that's them." But it says made by, you know what I mean? It's like this company is making the same product and then selling it to several different companies, and then they're putting their own packaging on it. Exactly. And you're buying the same product at varying prices. Yeah. So.
And varying places, they'll do that sometimes with product placement. They'll take a product that is the same thing, package it a couple different ways, put it out, see which one you buy.
Right. Yeah, exactly right. And then... So, anyways, I was thinking about Trader Joe's. If you yourself, because you've been to the ones in California, you've probably been to the Real Deal. It's kind of like if you've been to, again, bringing up Texas. Texas is they're a neighboring state, and that's where I spent a lot of time. Right. Dairy Queen there and Dairy Queen in Arkansas, two completely different restaurants.
Yes.
They have a completely different menu, and you can order a lot of I don't know. I don't really do fast food a whole lot, but man, when I do, I will go all in on Dairy Queen in Texas. Here they have a little chicken strip basket or something like that. That's about it. But they have what's called the Dude over there, which is the chicken fried sticks. Oh, God, just so good. But yeah, I'm sure it's like that with the Trader Joe's too, similar to maybe. So let's say that you're in charge.
I'm in charge. What am I in charge of?
You're in charge to do whatever you want with this store.
Okay.
Okay. What would you change?
About Trader Joe's?
Yes.
I would move it downtown.
Okay. So location.
Yes, because it is the look and feel has always been a downtown vibe. Now, granted, Arkansas struggles with their downtown vibe, or Little Rock rather. However, that's what they want.
Yeah.
And if they had put it downtown, number one, it would make a killing because there's no food within 10 miles in any direction down here.
Right.
You either have it or you don't get it. Have it, delivered in, but you can't just stop at the grocery store on the way home.
Yeah.
So having something like that, people are going to pay a little extra to be able to have it now. So you get that. You get all of that daytime traffic. Plus, you have people being drawn into the downtown, which is Trader Joe's has got a walking feel to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a drive-up feel to it. So even though you're still going to drive up, you're going to park downtown, and you're going to walk the sidewalks to get to it. So you're going to increase that experience and exposure to Trader Joe's by adding that extra little bit, and then that would have improved downtown. So it would have been a twofold. And this is one of the reasons that I don't get to run the city, is because I would just do stuff like that.
Just shuffle businesses around?
Well, I wouldn't do it willy-nilly. I would definitely have a lot of really good reasons why.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of really good reasons why that Trader Joe's is in the wrong place.
Okay. All right. Apparently, there's a lot of real estate, politics. That go on
Oh,
in
yes.
the city. Because at the event I went to last night, I was listening to some people that were, on the chair. They were chair, and they were I don't know, they involved in real estate somehow or another, But they were talking about, this building's owned by this person, and they did this, and then and oh, you guys work over there. Well, we need about 20 more parking spots over here, and it's this is an ongoing issue with Little Rock. There's no parking anywhere.
There isn't, and there is. Look out the window. There's a sea of parking lots. They have poor management of said parking spaces. Sure. Don't get me started.
Yep.
Little Rock has some potential that it's not currently seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I know that. And I was talking to somebody about that last night, is about how, Northwest Arkansas, because we were talking about, podcasting, how there's a lot of podcasters up there, yada, yada, yada. And, they do a lot of different, they're about to have a true crime festival up there. And we could, I could easily put one together here, but I don't really want to see how theirs does first.
Yeah.
This is the first one. But I was talking, it's it's weird that this little corner of the state, because they're not different people, you know what I mean? It's just that there's just a cultural divide between them and here for some reason, and there's no reason for that, you know what I mean? We have plenty of the room and the people and the diversity and the talents, and so it doesn't make any sense.
But all of the areas surrounding Little Rock are very rural, and those people own the land.
Sure.
And they have kept these cities behind. Everyone jokes about Arkansas being 10 years behind the rest of the country, and that's because the people who owned the land kept things the way they were, which is why you look outside and right now in downtown Little Rock and you just see some of the buildings that shouldn't be there and none of the buildings that should. A downtown needs to have walking space, and you really want to be able to stop in a new place and eat and get that bustle. And we don't have that. They roll the sidewalks up at 6.
They what? Roll the sidewalks up at 6?
It's a saying, meaning that when they roll the sidewalks up, you can't then go out and walk on them, so then no one's outside.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a small town.
All right.
One stoplight town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Rock is?
No, but the downtown Little Rock rolls the sidewalks up at 6.
Yeah.
All the businesses close.
They do? So I don't hang around after night. I don't know. So.
Most of
Probably
downtown,
reason for that,
There's a Main Street they've been working on a little
Yeah.
bit, but for the most part, you've got Riverfront, and then you've got Main Street, and a little bit of the little bit of that surrounding area, but not much.
Yeah.
And everywhere else, it just ends up being desolate and scary. And
It's true. Got a high crime rate. And now they're talking about a park. I don't know if you saw that. They're going to put a park over I-30. Yeah, think about that. So there's a.
How is this a good plan?
They've got a $4 million grant to build a park, a very large city park over top of I-30, so that it was already like an underpass, but there wasn't anything built over the top of it. You just have the concrete walls on either side of you, but now they're going to close that up on the top and put a park on top of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tax dollars at work.
I know, right? That's great. Wonderful.
That's so important. And we don't have real needs the city needs to address.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of like the general consensus from everybody was that we have a lot of other things that we need to be worrying about. What are we doing about the crime rate and doing things for people to be able to do, and opening event centers and places for people to actually host things and give a reason for other people to be here.
Right, attract some businesses instead of just the 12 hotels and a couple of apartment buildings. I mean, there's nothing down here.
Yeah.
So anyhow.
Yeah. Well, those are our complaints or the.
Well, you didn't even ask on camera about my little coins here.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
Well, I just did because you didn't ask.
Okay.
Normally it's hey, what's that weird thing you got over there next to your gum?
In your hand?
These are chocolate coins. Now, the point I brought up is they have a little sticker on them and it's customized, but they were like $15 for 50, which it's not a lot.
Okay.
And they're branded.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go to a print t-shirt print type company, apparel company, or a custom imprint company.
Yeah.
I went to.
I thought you were going to talk about the U.S. Mint for a minute.
No. I went to a novelty store.
Yeah.
Online and got that, and because I didn't have as much control over what they were doing, I was able to get something quick, something cheap to be able to give out for the holiday.
Yeah.
And it's because I thought outside the box. So instead of writing my family information over here, because that's what most people do with these things, they're like, Bob's happy, think whatever from Bob's family. I did it as a business marketing.
Very cool.
I did
said
it
like $15 for 50 of them?
Yeah. And then I've also done mints and various other different little things, but
of course.
they're a great way. They look all super cute. There you go. They're green, so you can't see.
I know. I
just
bet you can
thought
see right through that.
Oh, but that's funny.
It matches the color of our green screen.
So anyways, the gold side.
Yes, there you go.
Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because I know that we're always talking about different ways to promote.
Yeah.
Well, that was a very inexpensive way that I could really jump on a holiday but not break the bank. And it's branded.
For sure, and that's a good point. We do have a St. Patrick's Day coming up pretty soon. A lot of people do the plasticky green beads because nobody thinks to wear green or whatever on that day anyway. They get out and then they're like, oh yeah, what are we doing? And then all of a sudden you make plans to go out to these bars or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like you got to wear the green. And so a lot of places, a lot of bars will have the beads that are out there, and like Bailey's usually has a whole bunch of them with the green shamrock on the thing. So, but yeah, that's one way to stand out from the crowd. Have your own little branded gold coins and chocolate inside.
It's more of a an attention grabber because I have candy around and people know they usually treat themselves at the end. And having something shiny, they pick up and they realize what it says. It brings their attention to it, and even though they're going to throw that wrapper away, they had to pause to read it over what they were doing, which helped imprint it further.
Yeah. I was gonna say the shininess is what draws me in. I'm like an ostrich, you know what I mean? If it's shiny, I'm gonna pick it up. It's like, ooh, nice. Very cool. Yeah. Anyway.
That was it.
Yeah. I was like, what were we talking
So you have this long
Yeah.
topic to talk about. I brought chocolate coins.
It's nice. That's about the usual in this show. You know, go down many tangents. And I didn't have a particular 100% topic to talk about anyway. I was just like, what would you do differently? You know,
And I tell people all the
got really
time.
good ideas, and then
I want to bring Trader Joe's downtown, and I want to take half these rooftops and turn them into gardens, food gardens.
you want to do what? Take the rooftops and turn them into roof gardens. Is that what you said? Okay.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Mostly the government buildings, because then the government could run it, and that could be their problem. And then they could use it to help feed the homeless, or make a. At one point, I had an idea of making like some type of Arkansas salsa and having it all grown downtown.
Yeah.
And then so it's grown local, it's made local. I thought that'd be kind of a
Like
neat
on
little
rooftop?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But then I blinked and went on to another idea.
I'm surprised we haven't done that. That's interesting, because like you see places like Seattle, I believe it was, and they have like the garden walls, the ivy walls, and all that stuff. And so,
Well, in downtown we only have a few high rises. Most of them are mid rises or low rises, and all the sun.
Yeah.
So in the summertime, when we have the heat, the sun, all the things, it would be so simple to be able to do that downtown. Help clean up the air too.
Yeah. For sure. That's particularly why a lot of cities do it, is because it purifies the air and gets rid of some of the smog. You know what I mean? Because the air quality is not great, in most cities. Here, I don't think we have a huge problem with that.
No, but it would be nice to have
it could be better. And like us being the natural state, quote unquote, and being surrounded by farmland, like you said, a lot of rural stuff, I would assume that it would be a natural move to try to move someone into the city.
You can't throw a rock without finding someone who knows how to grow something.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
because to your point, we have a lot of rural areas. So it would be a job maker. It would be a food producer. It would be a tourism bump. I think that's
very cool. When are you running for mayor?
I know, right? You were like, "What's your platform?" I'm like, "Downtown gardens."
Now? Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering. I wasn't sure about that. How long is the mayoral? Is it 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years. Wow. I believe, right?
I don't know. That's all I'm asking.
Because your mayors are offset from presidential elections. It's like there's a presidential election, and then 2 years.
Mayor or I think governor is.
Governor too, yeah.
And the mayor should be.
Mayors are alternate. Like when not all the mayors run at the same time. You know what I mean? Like every city or town. I don't know how they decide that, but I don't know. I think North Little Rock and. No, so it was just Little Rock this last time. I was thinking about like last year's elections. So last year it was Little Rock, and I don't think North Little Rock did it last year, but in 2 years they will have their mayor election. So anyway,
my in-laws care about the North Little Rock election. Running a town, yeah. Well, I think I know everything, so not really, but I have a lot of great ideas, and I think that I would make an impact that was positive. Hopefully, it's, period as opposed to comma.
So going back to like setting the expectations for people before they even walk into your store, I think it's half of what marketing is anyway. And I like how the video that scares me every time I walk in here is playing in the lobby.
I've got the mannequin that scares you, and now a video that also scares you.
Yeah, I got used to the mannequin. Ooh, man, if you combine the two and the mannequin starts talking to you, like the audio from the video is coming through the mannequin's mouth as it moves. Be great. But no, now I just think that there's people over there talking, and I'm like, what? Oh, that's a video. But yeah, I like how you sort of say, while people are waiting for one thing, because there's lots of stuff to come up here for, right? And so if they're sitting there waiting to go into their one thing that they've booked, then they can learn all about all the other stuff that's going on here too. It's pretty.
Yeah, you don't really know. I don't like to sell to my clients. So when they come in, we do whatever it is that they're there for. And so I'm not going to say, oh, by the way, do you have any interest in a podcast?
Yeah.
You're recording a podcast? That's not, it doesn't just flow. It comes off a little obnoxious, I think. So having a way to gently get that information to them in case it's something that they want without intruding on the people that don't want that.
Sure.
So, yes, a little video montage is helpful for that.
It is, yeah, and I mean, also people, I know personally before I go anywhere, I'm going to Google your business before I go there, especially restaurants or if I'm going to get my eyes checked at the doctor.
Sure, any type of service provider.
Anything like that. Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely going to check out your Google profile, and I'm going to look at the photos because people usually take photos on the inside, and I'm going to look through the ones by the owner because I know that those are like the ones that you intentionally want us to see your business as, and it's probably not going to be 100% like that. And so I'm going to level those expectations by looking at what other users have posted, especially in like hotels, man. You can't trust hotel Google pages. Oh, man. When it's by the owners, man, every hotel looks like it is pristine. The floors are crystal and like the bedposts are made out of gold. It's crazy. And then like people will be like, oh, this stain was in my mattress. It's like they'll take a very close-up picture. And I'm like, oh, gross. All right. Well. So setting people's expectations. So that's an important, tip for you is that if you are running a business, especially brick and mortar or somewhere that people can come and visit you, you definitely want to have photos to set those expectations of what it is that you're doing, what they should expect, and like what's the quality there.
Well, and ask questions about your entryway. When they come in, you want them to have that look and feel. You want them to have that emotional response that you're needing from them in order to convert into a buy. And if you are targeting old ladies and they walk in and something screams at them, you're missing the mark there. Yeah. So definitely don't just do it because that was actually interesting. We should probably talk about that later. One of the things I had trouble in marketing with when I first started out was I'm like, these are the important reasons that you need to do this or you need to buy this because of these important reasons. And I was getting lost on people. And then I realized I'm not my target audience. So selling to me is not going to get me business because I am not the person who buys the thing. I understand the thing. I'm great at the thing. I do all the things. But I am not going to be the one who's going to look at that ad and go, yes, I want that.
Exactly.
So when I started talking to my target audience, my word of mouth got much improved.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I understand that completely. And I do the same thing with, anytime I'm designing something for anybody else because I'm like, all right, I'll show other people and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Without telling them, hey, I designed this. What do you think about it? You know what I mean? Because then they're inclined to, oh, that looks great. And it's like,
ask me, I won't lie.
You show a drawing to your mom. You're like, hey, Mom, I drew this. And like, oh, it looks wonderful.
But if I say, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you say, what do you think of my thing? And I'd ask you to answer the question, that means I really don't want to give you my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to tamper with the...
I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I really don't want to see that.
Yeah, for sure. Leading the witness. So... getting other people's opinions, especially because, like, I don't know, I don't think you and I think like normal people anyway. So it's like getting to those people that are the target audience. It's like to get their opinion, be like, okay, I like this or this. And like, a lot of times I'm surprised because I was like, okay, I would assume that you picked this over this because whatever, the color or it looks more cutesy or I don't know how I think normal people think. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and oftentimes you're right, and sometimes you're not. But being open to that, I've done that before. I'm like, what do you think of this? And people pick out something that's not even the thing. It's like, they're over here talking about the border, and I'm like, what I did, I spent 10 hours writing this copy. Yeah. Can you read the article? But that. Getting those reactions and saying to yourself, they're entitled to the reaction. If they're my target audience, I need to pay attention to that. I don't have to do what they say. I don't have to make the changes. Sure. But I definitely should know my opposition. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. No matter what size your business is, having a strong grasp of that, and that's not just hiring some company to do some analytic, to be like, oh, we'll tell you who your target audience is. No, actually get out there and undercover the boss that thing if you have to, you know what I mean? And figure out, who is it that's buying your product or like who are you selling to and what do they like and what do they actually are you
what's their pain point? What how are you going to make them feel like they need to have your product or service?
Yeah. Sometimes you hit a rut even with a team, you know what I mean? You hit a certain groove, you've been nailing it for so long and then you hire on more people and then like you serve you think you're serving the same clients, over time, not realizing that you're growing in different directions. And then if you don't like reevaluate that, then you're missing the mark. You can
exactly
missing out.
Exactly. Most businesses are not exactly what they started out as, and they may be to the core similar, but they evolve. And the reason I say most is the successful ones. I don't mean the ones that didn't make it, because the successful ones are the ones that are going to grow. Yeah, they're going to change with their audience. One of the arguments we had not too many years ago, but with the too big to fail type thing with the banks, or we don't want the newspapers to fail, or all the different things we do about these businesses. And I like, you know what? I walk outside and I look around and I don't see a livery, the one.
Yeah.
Should we be funding these people to keep their liveries open even though no one wants to use it?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that being, with COVID, all the whole work from home things, being able to adapt to a changing, not just economy, but a changing mindset. We have a whole new generation that's really different from the previous. That's one of the keys to success.
Yeah, I believe so, 100%. Because there's some businesses where I'm like, how are they? I don't understand how they're still open. Like, how are they? Not that they're a bad service. It's just that, like, I don't see people needing your services all the time, or like you would have so many people
Enough
that
to
are
pay the
crazy.
rent.
Yeah, exactly. So like popcorn places, you know what I mean? That like specialize in gourmet popcorn and stuff. It's like people aren't just like nutso over popcorn. You know what I mean? I never go out and have a deep conversation about popcorn with people.
I mean, I like popcorn, but that's to spend the kind of money, and it's worth it. It's good popcorn.
Sure.
But to spend that kind of money on something like that is a gift.
Yeah.
And I may buy, let's just go with, I'm a generous person, 2 random gifts a year or about a month. Yeah. Like, that's 24 gifts of popcorn. That's not going to pay their rent. I mean, it's not it's not cheap popcorn, but it's still that.
Yeah. When your cost, of making the product, you know what I mean, and then whatever you're making back from that, and plus you have to pay taxes, plus you have to pay rent, plus, you know what I mean, it's like, are you earning anything off of this, and how are you still?
And you got to pay someone to be there, yeah,
and paying somebody to be there, of course. So I don't know.
Maybe we're doing something wrong.
I don't know. In the back of my mind, I'm like, these are actually fronts for something else. You know what I mean? I'm like, First Orion? Oh man. So their whole thing is, it's a huge business, or a huge building. I don't know if you've seen it in North Little Rock. Gigantic building, and it was Charles Morgan. It was like, he was part of Axiom. You know what I'm talking about? So anyways, broke away from there, started his own thing there, and so they, millions of dollars poured into this one huge building that they could all work in, and they've got a gym inside there. They've got, whatever, 100 employees, whatever, and they sell phone systems. They sell not even phone systems, but like they sell particularly branding. So like when somebody calls you and it says potential spam, they sell a package to businesses where it will actually show an image in the background of their logo or whatever it is, people working, stock images, smiling, whatever it is, and be like, Massage Arkansas is calling you, and then like that's what they sell to people. I get a million spam calls every day. I've never had a single business call me and then it has that on here.
I want to go like,
who are they selling to?
Can you call me?
Yeah.
But I would think the businesses that could probably, in my mind, I am also not their target audience. Exactly, I would think that the businesses that can afford that, because I imagine it's not super cheap, aren't calling people a lot.
Right.
Like Walmart isn't calling, like spam calling people.
They're not. No.
But they might pay for something like that, because
also what number? Because I'm like, Walmart doesn't have just one number that calls out for, you know what I mean?
So, and you have a multi-line business, you would all your outgoing calls can come from one number, but you have many trunk lines.
Yeah. But Walmart never calls us.
I don't know. I don't answer my spam calls. But if they do have a logo and they have not called me, because I probably would have answered. Like, that's interesting.
Maybe, yeah. Depends, unless it's like an insurance agent or something like that. Hey, I heard you're in the market for a new plan.
Or I would put like, because especially like insurance agents or realtors, be like me and a dog. And people are like, interesting, and then they answer the call, and you're like, hey, now that I got you.
So I'm like, you've got this huge multi-million-dollar building, and you've got all these employees and like the gym and all that other stuff on the inside. And it's like you're selling these things to people that I've never seen actually out in the wild. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty involved in business, right? So, and I get I get my share and everybody else's of spam calls every day. So never had one of these from an actual person that needed this to call me. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're based here. Yeah. But their target audience is LA.
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
The government.
I don't know. There's got to be something going on where it's like, they've got.
Maybe we can get to be a guest on the podcast here. Maybe.
Yeah, and be like, all right, explain yourself.
Right.
Now. Yeah.
I need to
really
know.
Making money?
And
it might just be backers that are just floating this along until they actually do start, because that happens sometimes. Sometimes you get people that believe in if it's not like the product, it's the person behind it. You know what I mean? So like Charles Morgan, I'm sure he can rally up a lot of support for whatever he's doing, and get people to invest in that. And so then you float along for 2-3 years, and then if that product doesn't sell or catch on, then like you owe people a lot of money, and so you're either gonna have to go under or reform whatever it is that you do or sell. Or so I mean that does happen sometimes. And so to all appearances, you look like you are just killing it. And everybody's a millionaire, but nobody uses your product. Then I don't know. It's so odd to me.
I would agree.
Anyways, that's my complaint. My bandstand there. Curious. We need more investigations on these things. Please be more transparent about how it is you make money.
Yes.
Anyway, we make money whenever you go to Patreon and pay us directly.
Yes.
Yeah, we can take your dollars and we'll even show you where your money goes. Green on the wall. Coins for the St. Patty's Day. Coffee cups, coffee, all the things, internet that we have.
More squishy stuff to put on everything.
Yeah, put
sound
squishy
barrier
stuff on everything. I mean, whatever. We'll use Squishmallows, whatever you want to use. We'll put it up on the wall. It'll absorb sound. It'll be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're an audio listener, you can catch us on YouTube by searching for the Healthy Business Podcast. And if you are a video watcher, you can catch us on all of the podcasting platforms. You can catch us on all the social media platforms, from LinkedIn to Instagram to Facebook. Yes, we're still on Facebook. Most of Arkansas is. If you are out of state and you're wondering why do they have a Facebook page when nobody else does, it's because Arkansas has a Facebook page. Everybody in Arkansas has a Facebook page, and we still use it heavily. Yeah.
Truth.
It is. It might as well. That rebrand it to be, something where it's like specific to the state.
Arkansas book.
Because, Arkansas book, whatever. Is it soybean book or whatever? Anyway, follow us, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you would like us to talk about.
Share.
Yeah, share. If you'd like to see any guests on the show that you'd like to see interviewed, we'll bring in some more people. I know it's been a while since we had anybody else on the show.
We had holidays.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. A lot of holidays and stuff coming up. So, but yeah, we'll get more people on the show and actually talk to them about what it is that they're actually an expert in, instead of us just assuming that we're experts in everything and then criticizing them for it. We're just raising good questions. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Don't get mad at us. We're just talking about stuff. So anyway, until next time, did you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's
you
it.
Want to say bye?
Bye.
All right. Keep your business healthy.